Hey everyone, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here's your daily forecast for the day of Tuesday, January 23rd, 2018. Now, what's going on today is that we've got the moon hanging out right here in Aries, okay, which brings our attention, of course, to action, to doing things, to making things happen here, and of course to your identity, to figuring things out with your identity and moving forward on some things that are really important to you personally. All right, so that's what's going on today. At midnight, the moon is going to come into a trine with the north node here. So anything it is that we are doing to identify with things that are important to us and to move forward on some things that it is that we want is then going to help us here to be happier, to make some progress on things that are important to us, to find more of the joy and the passion in life here with the north node in Leo coming in. Okay, and that's going to be at midnight Utah time. Now, as we are starting to feel, I want to say maybe a little bit better, like we're starting to make progress on some things that we enjoy, to move forward, to be happier. Around 7 a.m. we do come into a little bit of a rough spot here. Okay, that's because the moon moves a little bit further through Aries and then makes a square here to both Mercury at 7 a.m. and then to Pluto at 11 a.m. And Mercury and Pluto are coming conjunct as we speak, okay? And that could be a little bit difficult because we want to act here on us, on what we want, on things that are important to us, but we're having to think very, very seriously here about our life, about where life excuse me, is going, about our reputation, about our career, about our social standing in some way. And I think that can be a little bit difficult here, because we don't want to think super strategically here about our life and about what's happening and about some big changes with Pluto here that it is that we're making to put our life in a better spot. We want to make things happen. You know, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So when you get the first sign of the zodiac, I normally think of things a rough draft. We want to make things happen, do whatever comes out, and I think we're having to, around the morning, 7 and 11 a.m. Utah time, having to be a little bit more careful about how we're doing things and about the plans that it is that we're making to make sure that they can ultimately put us in the right spot that we want to be in, give us the career, the reputation, and the social standing that it is that we want. Okay, that could also bring up some very intense communication and some conversations here, if not with other people, then with ourselves, as we try to plan our life, to figure out where our life is going, and to move forward here to put our life in the spot that it is that we need. Okay, especially with Mercury and Pluto coming conjunct here, which I did mention in all of your weekly horoscopes. It can bring up very hard conversations about things that you're feeling deep below the surface, maybe that you don't talk about a lot. Also some hard conversations and readjustments in the way that you think and work with people when it comes to money, of course, and your relationships. Okay, and we're trying to figure out here how to move forward, doing some things that we want to do while at the same time not neglecting everything else, the money and the relationships and the deep feelings that it is that we have that can help put our life in the spot that we want it to be in. Okay, so I think that's what's going on for most of the day. Then at the very, very end of the day, after we sit with that for a few hours, at 8 p.m. Utah time, the moon is going to come into a conjunction with Uranus and Aries, bringing up lots of unexpected things. Whenever you get Uranus in the mix, it's like crazy things happen that you cannot predict, that you cannot plan, coming into play here. Okay, and I think that is what is starting to happen. Just a lot of insights perhaps can come up at the nighttime here, or unexpected things really helping you, I think, to get more clarity about who you are, about how you need to act moving forward, about what it is that you need to do here. And a lot of times I think Uranus as well motivates us to break free from some old situations and to really begin to push us forward here to think and do things differently coming in at the nighttime. All right. So that's what I see going on there. It's also worth noting that even though the moon is here where Uranus is, Mercury is eventually going to be making a square to it later this week as well. So I think whatever is coming up today, at the very end of the day, an unexpected thing or some insights that it is that we're getting, I think there's more information on that to come, especially at the end of the week in regards to our career and where our life is going, that we're still going to have to work out inside as Mercury begins to move closer and closer into the square to Uranus. All right. So that's what I see going on today. All right, now stuff going on in the background that I will touch on a little bit is that we do have Mercury in a conjunction with Pluto that I did just spend a lot of time talking about. We're really trying to change our life for the better, change where we see our life going, our life direction in a really big way here, and having to make sure that we understand these changes that it is that we're making and that other people understand these changes that we're making. With the Sun and Venus just being in this spot with Pluto, these are a different kind of changes. I feel like we've already made most of the changes that it is that we need to make when it comes to money and relationships, even though we're still thinking about a lot of those things. I think now, though, we're having to go back over the changes that we've made recently in regards to our career, our life direction, and our social standing, to make sure that they're the right changes for us, to make sure that we did the right things, to make sure that we've got all the details taken care of with Mercury coming in. And I think that's what we're really trying to figure out with this Pluto conjunction here, is as we're changing our life and starting to step into some changes in our life in some way, how can we make sure that everyone is on board with us, that we're doing everything the way that they need to be done here, and that we're comfortable, you know, mentally and emotionally, especially with the moon today, with what is going on. And I think we're trying to work some of that stuff out. All right. That's happening. Really wanting to associate with people, also with the Sun-Venus conjunction here, that can put our life in the right spot and help us feel more comfortable with who it is that we are. Okay, Mercury and Pluto also making a sextile over here to Jupiter, again saying, look, there's lots of changes here going on in your life. Even though we're coming to the end of our time of making changes in some way to put our life in the right spot here, there is still a lot of opportunity here to create the life that it is that you want, to make progress, to move forward, even if we're having to make sure that the way that we're acting and the way that we're doing things and changing our life is good for us, okay? So I think that's what I'm going to leave you with today going on. Just going to keep it simple for you. Now, your card for the day is, I keep getting this card. I feel like I got this card like a few days ago. The Devil, upright. Again, still having to let some things go, you know, maybe still holding on to some things from the past that are coming up here, really needing to step into new chapters, okay? Also needing to avoid some of your vices. If there's any vices that you have coming up here, you know, maybe falling into old patterns or patterns that are not good for you in some way, maybe needing to make sure that you don't go to the dark side of some of these situations here, and that you try your best to see the positive side, see the light, remain kind of humble and genuine as well as you start making or continue making some of these big changes to put your life in a better spot, okay? And I think if you can keep the positive, all right, and stay, you know, humble and genuine throughout the process, not get lost in patterns of thinking that are not good for you or in old ways of thinking, I think in the end it's definitely going to help you start to move forward, to do some things that it is that you need to do, and to do the right things to put your life in the right spot here, so that you don't undercut your own progress by doing things that are no longer meant for you and that are not good for you, okay? So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.